So we were discussing about Nernst equation. So let's continue the discussion and we'll do some numericals based on it. Yeah, let's do one question as a continuation of what we discussed in the previous period. Then we'll proceed. Okay, I'm already started the recording. Okay. Yeah, so let's do this question. Write Nernst equation for the cell given below. Nickel 2 plus Ag plus Ag. That means general equation. No need to put the concentration value and all. Like already you can see the answer is already I have written over there. But this is just to show you a difference in what we have written for the Daniell cell. So in the case of Daniell cell, it was like Zn plus Cu2 plus changing into Zn2 plus Cu. This was the reaction where the stoichiometric constant for each term was 1, but that was not happening in the case of nickel. Because you can see nickel is changing into nickel 2 plus. There is a change of 2 electron, but Ag plus to Ag is a change of 1 electron, right? That means it's not matching. In such cases, you have to write the cell reaction and write a balanced equation. Because there is a total change of 2 electrons that should be happening because one nickel has to give out 2 electrons out of it to form Ni2 plus. That 2 electron will be taken by 2 Ag plus ions to balance that. So that's why this reaction is different from what we discussed in the case of a Daniell cell. So in such cases, you can see the concentration terms has got powers of their stoichiometric constant in the equation. So that's what you can see. Concentration of oxidized species, that is nickel 2 plus, divided by concentration of the reduced species, that is Ag plus, but with the square. That 2 has come from their value in the stoichiometric constant. I mean the stoichiometric constant in the equation. So always when you get a half cell or electrochemical cell like this, write their cell equation and then check, then only you can write the Nernst equation. Don't write the Nernst equation directly because there are some equations where the number of electrons of the species involved, you have to balance it first and that term will come as the power of concentration term. That is why the final equation you can see E cell is equal to E0 cell minus RT by NF. N is taken as 2 because per reaction there are 2 electrons getting transferred. And log concentration of oxidized species. So here you can see the first one what we write is this is anode. That is how the cell representation. And secondly, what we write is cathode. Always what we write in the first is anode and the second electrode will be cathode. So anode will be oxidizing. So oxidized species is coming in the numerator and concentration of the reduced reduction, the one which is undergoing reduction.
Products by reactants or reactants by products? So it is the log.
This is product by reactant because Ni2 plus is the product. Nickel was a reactant side, right? So if you look into the, that's what coming in my next slide explanation. Here you can see nickel in solid state is changing into Ni2 plus. So this is the product. Product is on the numerator. That is why oxidized species, the species which is formed by oxidation reaction divided by species undergoing reduction. That is Ag plus ion. So for Ag, you have a power of 2. That is just because in the cell reaction, the stoichiometric constant is 2 for Ag plus. So don't write just looking into the cell representation. Always write the cell reaction. Based on that only you can write the cell Nernst equation. So for zinc and copper, we were not having such issue because it was stoichiometric constant was 1. It was like this, Zn plus Cu2 plus was changing into Zn2 plus Cu. So the stoichiometric constant was 1. So the powers were not there in the Nernst equation. But for here, you can see this is termed like Ag plus has got the stoichiometric constant 2. So that is coming as a power in the Nernst equation.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Is it like equilibrium constant?
Yeah, or you can say I think last year we discussed about reaction quotient and equilibrium constant, right?
Yes.
So that's what I'm going to explain in the next slide. That means the Nernst equation can be generally represented for a general reaction like AA plus BB giving CC and DT. That small letters are stoichiometric constant and cap letters are reactants and product. A and B are reactant, C and D are product. If that is a reaction happening inside a electrochemical cell, then the E cell have the equation E cell is equal to E0 cell minus RT by NF ln Q, where Q is the reaction quotient. Like last year, it's just like the concentration of the products raised to their powers divided by concentration of the reactant. So this is the general representation. You can write it for any reaction. So in the beginning, like when the third period, when we start the discussion on Nernst equation, we found the E cell from their electrode potential. We found the electrode potential for copper separately. Then we did for zinc separately. Then we subtracted to get the E cell for copper zinc electrode. I mean the electrochemical cell. Here we are directly based on an electrochemical reaction. This is what the cell reaction. This is what the cell reaction happening. And based on that, directly you can write the equation and the Nernst equation from the information. That means this equation can be written as E cell is equal to E0 cell minus 2.303 RT by NF log concentration of C raised to C into concentration of D raised to D into concentration of A raised to A into concentration of B raised to B. That means ln log is converted to log log by multiplying with 2.303, and you can further simplify it as E cell is equal to E0 cell minus 0.0591 by N if R and F is constant and T is room temperature. If you follow that condition, then this will be the final form. That means directly writing a cell reaction, you can get Nernst equation. If the temperature is different, say they say that they are using 300 Kelvin as a temperature, then use this equation, the one which is in red, because temperatures in other case where you are getting 0.0591 mean you are taking temperature as 298 Kelvin. If it is not 298 Kelvin, then you have to use the basic equation and substitute all the values. R is equal to 8.314 and Faraday constant is 96,500 Coulomb. Standard. E standard.
So E at standard temperature.
Okay. That you can.
The red equation, what does T stand for?
T is temperature.
But then you told T is constant, right?
If T is constant and taken as room temperature, then you will get the simplified form. What is it wrote in purple?
Okay.
If T is there are some calculation questions, numericals where they write that the temperature is 330 Kelvin. If they have mentioned the temperature is something else other than the 298 Kelvin, then you use the red one and then substitute all the values and do it. Don't use the last one. Otherwise, if for a normal case, only use the last equation, because every time multiplication with 8.314, 96,500, that will be difficult. Yeah. So when the temperature is different, then only use the basic equation. Otherwise, use the last equation, this one. Clear? Done? Okay. Those interested to know the derivation and all, in the textbook, some steps in the derivation is given. You can refer it, but basically numericals is what you need to know. So basically look for the equation and we'll solve some numerical questions. Done? Okay. So when we know that equilibrium, at equilibrium, if this is a backward and forward reaction, just imagine it's a reversible reaction. If that is the case, at equilibrium, E cell will be equal to 0. So that means you will get a new equation for E0 cell connecting. E0 cell is equal to 2.303 RT by NF log Kc. K here is the equilibrium constant in terms of concentration. We have Kc and Kp last year we discussed, right? Equilibrium constant can be expressed in terms of concentration or pressure. And here what we are using is equilibrium constant K in terms of concentration, because we are dealing with electrolytes, not pressure. That's what we write log Kc. So write this equation also very important. E0 cell is equal to, at equilibrium we know that E cell is equal to 0. That means E0 cell or E standard cell is equal to 2.303 RT by NF log Kc. That means this entire term at equilibrium is known as equilibrium constant. Otherwise, it's just a reaction quotient. And when it happens at equilibrium, we call it as equilibrium constant. The Q is Kc at equilibrium. Reaction quotient is equal to equilibrium constant when the reaction is at equilibrium. So we call Kc, or we use the word Kc only when the reaction is at equilibrium. That is why this entire term we write it as Kc. So again, this is an important equation. And I have two more equations connecting Gibbs energy and equilibrium constant, E0 cell and all. After that, we'll do the numericals.
Ma'am, is there any reason why E cell is 0 at equilibrium?
If you look into the reaction at equilibrium, what will happen? We know that forward and backward reaction. If you take it as, then it will be equal, right?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
That's when we take it as 0.
Okay, ma'am.
Again, these are the another equations connecting, as I said earlier. If you are interested, you can go for the derivation, but only these equations are enough. Delta G is equal to NF E0 cell, and the next one, delta G0 is equal to negative 2.303 RT log K. Gibbs free energy and E0. So question can be related to anything interconnected. So you should be knowing all these equations. Yeah. Always for a E standard, either they write 0 or they write this sign. Both are standard. Okay. Non-standard condition, just write E. Electrode potential is E, and non-standard condition cell potential is E cell.
Delta G will be delta G in non-standard conditions.
0. Delta G0 means standard
If you're-
condition.
If you're taking non-standard conditions.
No, this is, yeah.
It will be delta G only.
Change in Gibbs free energy and the standard condition delta G0 is equal to minus NFE0 cell. And Gibbs free energy and equilibrium constant K is connected. Delta G0 is equal to negative 2.303 RT log K. Done? So we'll go for a numerical. Okay. Muzammil, go and wash your face. And go. I didn't mean to wash your mobile phone. Ready? We'll start. Okay. This is like you last year you learned about it. When is a reaction is spontaneous and non-spontaneous. So it could be like a cell reaction. You can predict the feasibility of a cell reaction by calculating delta G. Okay, so we know that delta G less than 0, the reaction is spontaneous. When the delta G is equal to 0, that means it is at equilibrium, and delta G will be greater than 0, then the reaction is non-spontaneous, right? Similarly, for equilibrium also, in terms of equilibrium constant and E0 cell value, you can get the information about the spontaneity of the reaction. So this table is actually self-explanatory. In terms of Gibbs free energy, value of delta G should be less than 0 or negative for a reaction to be spontaneous. When delta G is equal to 0, the reaction is at equilibrium. And if delta G is positive, that is greater than 0, the reaction is non-spontaneous. Similarly, in terms of K is equilibrium constant. K, if the value of K is less than 1, the greater than 1, the reaction is spontaneous, right? And if it is 1, that is at equilibrium, because the concentration of the reactant and product will be same. That is when you will get the value of K as 1, that is at equilibrium. If the value is less than 1, then the reaction is non-spontaneous. That is in terms of K, equilibrium constant. Similarly, in terms of E0 cell, if the value is greater than 0, reaction is spontaneous, and E0 cell is 0 at equilibrium, and it will be less than 0 when it is non-spontaneous reaction. So just note down these points, because question can be like also checking for the spontaneity or the feasibility of a reaction. Only the table is fine. The other one you already wrote the equation, so, and that also in ln equation it will be confusing. So only the table. Done? Okay. Let's do this question. Calculate the EMF of the cell in which the following reaction is taking place. And E0 cell is given as 1.05 volt. So cell reaction is given already. Nickel plus 2 Ag plus. Concentration is already mentioned, 0.002 molar. And Ni2 plus 2 Ag are the product. And the concentration of Ni2 plus ions are also given. So first write the Nernst equation for this particular reaction. Which equation? E cell is equal to E0 cell minus, which equation you going to use here? Here they didn't mention about temperature, that means it's already understood that it's a constant room temperature. So you can use a final equation. Log concentration of Ni2 plus divided by concentration of Ag plus square. That square part, that is the usually where they usually students makes different what you can say makes get it wrong usually because they forgot to write that square part. That's why always look for the stoichiometric constant in the cell reaction and then fill the details. So it will be 1.05, it's already given, minus 0.0591. What is the n value here? 2. Transfer of electron, number of transferred electron transferred is 2. Then log 0.160 divided by 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 square. Because that's way it's easy. Rather than writing 0.002 and taking this square, this way it will be easy. You all know how to use the log table.
Yes.
All of you? So if you don't know how to use the log table, then how you will calculate, find the answer? Because you have to find the log value of something, right? And in the exam, usually they provide the logarithmic table from that center of examination. You can't take it with you. So you have to learn. Otherwise, yeah, we'll do one thing. We'll ask Shweta ma'am's help also, math teachers. Okay.
Math or physics?
Logarithm is math, exponential is math. They will not give to us physics people. Physics are using log and all. Math, this math thing only. In physics also you need log mathematical principles.
For math, you use sign for that
Okay. Now you can use the calculator. Scientific one. Oh, you're online, you'll get. Because you need to know how the table, logarithmic table to find the value. Okay. Log and sometime you have to find the anti-log also. So that should be learned.
-7.
Final answer?
No, it should be in decimal.
Yeah, log is to the base 10. LOG is log to the base 10. When you write in scientific, it's already LOG. Other one is LN. Yeah.
Is the answer minus 710.514?
Final answer.
Minus 710.51.
No, you're talking about the E cell final thing or the log?
E-cell, yes.
Log. Let's see.
Log would be 4 into
Log 4 point.
no 4 into 0.602, which is 2.4.
Okay, so you will get the log value as 4.6. Okay, that will be multiplied with this one. Yeah, so here this entire term, after calculating, you're getting it as 4.6.
No, ma'am, 2.4 I said.
You got 2.4.
Yes, ma'am.
Nabil, they're saying that they got 2.4 instead of 4.6.
No, they got 2.4 because they didn't calculate.
So this is correct.
Yeah, I got 4.6.
Check again. Check again.
Log
Anyway,
value is
you
4.6.
can't use it. Sorry?
Log value is 4.6021.
Yeah, 4.6. Correct.
I think I'm wrong.
Check it again, okay? Anyway, you can't use a scientific calculator, so there is no point on doing it. But now, as you don't have the log table, we'll use it for now. Yeah, all are getting 4.6, right? Then you have to multiply that with 0.0591 divided by 2. Tell me what you're getting to subtract from 1.05. 1.05 minus what is happening in the next term. That's what I need.
Means 0.9.
Yeah, 0.9. Final answer.
0.9.
After subtracting from 1.05. Yeah. So this term what you're getting 1.05 minus.
Unexpectedly 1 minute. I want Steve just a minute.
0.9, right?
Is 0.92.
917. Volt. So after investiture, Steve will be giving the party, no? Yeah. Just don't invite your friends only, okay?
912.
Okay, maybe slightly, yeah. Slightly that digits may change slightly. Yeah, but once you use the logarithm, no, that problem won't be there. Let's see. Okay, are you all getting the somewhat similar answer?
Yes.
Okay. We'll do one more. Yeah, ready? Or your already energy is not there for the next one? Yes or no? Tomorrow. Okay, fine. So we'll do the next question, like next class tomorrow. So that means we are finishing the first part of electrochemical, this one electrochemistry, that is related to electrochemical cell. So we discussed everything, all the aspect of electrochemical cell, how you are setting up electrochemical cell, what is it is, and how your half cells are there, electrode potential, cell potential, standard and non-standard condition. So now, like after solving few questions, we'll be moving to second part of electrochemistry, that is related to resistance, conductance, molar conductivity, Kohl-Rash's law. Yeah, it is there. The portion was like this. I'll show you the first slide. This is after deleting. This is revised one. Yeah, full electrochemistry. In electrochemistry, they don't much remove only that some reactions, galvanic cell thing, but that's already included. Electrolysis and Faraday's law, that part is completely removed. Yes, Prasanna.
Now, what's the final answer?
Final answer was 0.915.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, you got it?
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
Oh, okay, very good.